move it. Not like to move it.
We like to move it, move it. And today, we're moving straight back to 2005. We're escaping the Central Park Zoo to see if the Crack-a-Lackin comedy of Madagascar still holds up. We're watching another movie at Grandma's house. Let's dive in. Hello, hello. Please come in. There's some fresh cookies in the cookie jar. There's a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the counter. Have a seat and make yourself comfortable. Welcome to Movies at Grandma's House. I'm your host, Isaac. That was my first rectal thermometer.
And I'm Seth. If you have any poo, fling it now.
Oh, it's great to see you, Seth. What is Grandma putting on for us today?
2005's Madagascar.
Okay, and this is your proper spoiler warning. If you've not seen this movie, this is your warning going forward. We're going into spoiler territory. Well, let's get a little more information about this little film called Madagascar and some film facts. So Madagascar was released back on May 27th, 2005. It had a budget of $75 million. Box office, $556.6 million. Looking around at some reviews, IMDb has a 6.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is at a 55%. Letterboxd has a 4.2 out of 5. Currently, as of this recording, you unfortunately can't stream it, so you're going to have to rent or buy in order to watch. It stars Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, David Schwimmer, Jada Pinkett Smith, and many more. It's in association with DreamWorks Animation. And last but not least, we have to hear, what is Grandma going to rate this one?
Granny's family-friendly rating for Madagascar is a B+ for some adult humor and an intense scene.
So there you go. And we'd love to hear your thoughts. So be sure to comment down below your rating, your memories, and thoughts. We'd love to hear it. So be sure you do that. Well, again, this was back in 2005 that this came out. So I'm very interested to start. What are your first memories?
My first memories were, I remember thinking, what a cast. I love the idea of animals going into the wild after being in a zoo. And I thought it could lend itself to a lot of humor and jokes. So it was, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that I think it had a lot of hype around it. We're going to get into why. There's a lot of quotes. There's a lot of things around it that kind of transcended into pop culture, I feel like, at least during that time in 2005. That's what my first memories. I think of the song, I Like to Move It. That's tied so closely to this movie. So anytime that song randomly is in it's kind of sad to think, in a grocery store or something, I'll think Madagascar. It's one of those things. So with that said, again, coming back to this now 20 plus years later, what were your expectations on the rewatch?
Simply just sit back, laugh, and enjoy.
There you go. For me, yeah, just the same thing. I remember having a good time with this when it came out, and just now watching it with my children and see what their thoughts were on it as well. The usual, that's kind of my usual checkbox, but especially with this one, the animation, like you brought out the cast. It's got a great cast, so I hope this holds up as well as I remember. Well, before we get into the plot rewind, let's pause just a moment to hear from our sponsors. Hey, love movies as much as we do? Then bring the experience of the theater to your walls with movieposters.com. Whether you're into the classics, the blockbusters, or indie gems, they have something for every single film fanatic. As a listener of our podcast, you can save up to 15% on your order right now. Just use code Grandma's House at checkout. Head to movieposters.com and let's build your ultimate collection today. All right, let's take, in this case, 2005, it would be a DVD. Let's take it out of the case. Let's put it in the DVD player and press play.
Marty, a zebra stuck in the New York City Zoo, dreams of one day being free to roam in the wild. His friends at the zoo think he's crazy. However, by some pretty incredible happenings, they all end up gathered on the beaches of Madagascar. Will these animals survive and learn their new lifestyle? Find out at Grandma's house.
Okay, the great summary there. This is a unique movie in terms of the time frame. I think back in 2005, Pixar was just dominating when it came to CGI. And this came along after Shrek, because this is DreamWorks. This was kind of their building into another franchise. That's what I think of with the impressions of this is early DreamWorks. This is a different time period, but it's just unique. It still kind of has this different, it's not like a cookie cutter film when I'm looking at some animations that just copy another. This is its own premise. It's animals breaking out of a zoo and ending up on Madagascar of all places. It's just kind of a neat story when you really break it down and think about it. But interested to hear, what are your first impressions when you're watching the film?
So I really like the simple animation. It really just somehow lends to the story. I don't know, maybe it's just me. And then the humor was just off the charts with this one.
That's probably the highlight. The humor in this, you have, again, Ben Stiller, you have Chris Rock, David Schwimmer, Jada Pinkett Smith, even she's got her moments. They all have their comedic timing and quotes in this one. Absolutely agree with you on that. And the animation, I'll say, it's interesting. Like, it does kind of take me back a little bit because I do think it shows its age, but this is 2005. So it's like, oh, that's right. This was kind of like the top of animation back then. And I think it's good. I wouldn't be like, this is amazing animation. And we've talked about this at length of movies. It just depends on your taste. Like, I could see how it could hit for some people. This one I don't dislike. I think it's okay. It just didn't maybe hit me like normal ones I've talked about in the past, but it's still good. I mean, again, considering the times, 2005, I'm thinking Pixar was the one that you're probably going to compare of what was maybe top level. But other than that, this is one that would probably stick out back then. I'm thinking that's what I recall, especially with the budget. Like I mentioned, $75 million. So I don't know. Do you think that was maybe the cast or the animation that budget went towards?
I would say mostly the cast. I don't know what their paychecks were. However, with that big a cast, I'm sure that they were quite high. What I would like to say, though, is that sometimes, we've mentioned this before, like you've said, sometimes simpler is better because that aids the storyline. You feel more for the storyline than you are for the animation. And I think that worked in this film.
It did. Yeah. I can't say enough. Like the cast works so well, but the animation and their expressions and their timing on their jokes, because it's very slapstick. That's what I think lends to the comedy of this film is it's got the quotes, it's got the humor of those types of things that you go back to 2000 movies. They were really getting into, like, it's not adult jokes, but adults get it. You know, adults can get in on the jokes. It's not just kids jokes, but it does have the slapstick and the animation is really good. Like, you got to love the animation because that's what really sells a lot of the jokes is, I think of Melman. I'll just come out and say he's probably my favorite character. And a lot of his is slapstick. He's getting, crushed or falling. And it's just the way it's animated, it's hilarious. Like, I love it. So maybe open up to you, though, like what characters, or if you want to talk about the plot, what are some things that you want to bring out?
I'll touch quickly on the plot. It's a unique plot. It's very different than I would say most family-friendly movies are. I felt that this was strong. They asked a lot of the animals in this one to learn a new life. They're asking, like, the story is progressing in that way. And I thought it was a very funny premise. So it just really worked well. The plot did for me. The character-wise, it's a simple statement. I mean, the voiceovers were unbelievably well done. All the characters have their own time to shine, their own light, like you brought out. Each of them told the story from their point of view, and I thought that was really cool. I especially enjoyed the Chris Rock and Ben Stiller of it all, and the Penguins were hilarious for sure.
I think I understand why there was the spinoff. Was it a TV series or a movie with the Penguins?
Ooh, I do believe there's like 3 movies and like
Really?
several TV shows. I don't know.
They were kind of like, is that a good comparison? Like the Minions for the Despicable Me? They were kind of those side characters.
Yeah.
And they kind of grew bigger than the franchise, I would argue, in a way people kind of think of the Penguins, and that's not any disrespect, because again, this is a big cast of Ben Stiller and Chris Rock and David Schwimmer and Jada Pinkett Smith, all of them. But the Penguins definitely steal the show at times. Like, they just come in and I don't know how you can't laugh at them. It's just hilarious how they're almost this operative group, and the way they look at scenarios and stuff. Yeah, you're cracking up. I think that's where like the adult part kind of comes in. Kids laugh at it, but if you're an adult, you understand what some of their jokes are. I mean, they're probably my other favorite on the characters. But what I have to ask you, what were maybe your favorite character or characters? It can be even several.
The first time I saw it, I think I really felt were like Alex's character, Ben Stiller, and then I really thought Chris Rock was amazing with his dialogue, and he delivered emotion very well in this one over voiceovers, which is not easy to do when you're playing like the lead, and you're asked to do like pretty much over double what the rest of the cast is doing. And so he did an amazing job. David Schwimmer, the Melman, he's so funny. Jada Pinkett Smith's so funny. We'll probably get into it, but then you've got Robin Williams. Just an amazing cast.
Robin Williams, or you mean what's his name?
Oh, did I get that wrong? I'm sorry.
I heard you say Robin Williams, unless you said another name. Did you mean the is it Baron Cohen that does the
Baron Cohen?
Baron Cohen, yeah.
My bad. Did he play the lead lemur guy or whatever?
Yeah, the king.
My bad.
King
Oh my goodness. I apologize. Oh my goodness.
Were you thinking of Happy Feet? Was that it?
I don't know what I'm thinking of. I'm in another zone right now, I guess. Leave this in because this is good.
We won't take this out. No, it's just I laugh because I do that all the time. I get names mixed up. So
I'm better with faces than names. So as an animated picture, I'm not, unless they have a very distinct voice, I'm going to mix it up.
I mean, I butchered Sacha Baron Cohen. I'm probably butchering it again, but I mean, it happened. But yeah, the cast is still great. Cedric the Entertainer, he was Maurice, the other monkey. What you think is?
Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, I was looking at as the credits were rolling or whatever at the beginning of the film, I'm like, who was that? And who was that? And who was that? And then as I was listening, I was like, oh yeah. I know these. And I mean, it was just, the list goes on and on. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then I don't have it in my fun facts, but there was so many people that were considered for this movie. You should look it up if you're interested, because there is a long list of different amazing voices that could have been picked, but they did it right. I mean, this was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. They just fit. I go back to the animation. Like, I'm not knocking it. It's just maybe wasn't like, there's stiff competition. I think I need to stop comparing animation because I think it's fine. But I will bring out the animation is good because it really matches like the voices. You can recognize them, but they also go back to like voice acting. I love this voice cast because they're not playing themselves. This isn't Ben Stiller just doing Ben Stiller voice. He's actually Alex, this lion, but somehow the animation kind of makes you feel like this is a Ben Stiller character, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm all over the place of it's this actor and they're not playing the character like their own. They're not playing themselves. But anyway, I do think the animation does a good job of capturing the actors. Like you said, they just match so well. I'm trying to think of anyone else because you're saying there's other ones considered. And of course you have to have a list of casting, but I can't imagine.
I just looked, Andy Richter's on there too. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. And I think Bob Saget was like a mini, he was not really mentioned or credited. Maybe he is, but I didn't notice it. But when I looked it up, he was one of the animals in the zoo. It doesn't say which one exactly, but he's one of the zoo animals.
You're right.
So yeah, there's just so many names in this. It's fantastic though. With that said, there's a lot of the quote. I mean, you got Ben Stiller, who's already a comedian, and Chris Rock. There are so many quotes. I think that's the other highlight. The cast itself is kind of a highlight, but the quotes, the humor is definitely what I think of when I think of Madagascar. So I got to open up to you. What are some quotes or some even scenes, moments that were really funny to you?
I got two little quotes, but they're quite hilarious. The first one, are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Underpants! And the second one was, to go along with my opening quote, Well, of course we're going to throw poo at him.
The monkey. I just love the animals. Like the monkeys are such a minor character. You don't see much screen time, but they're great. Like the quote you just said, and I love how when they get caught, they're in a trench coat, like standing on each other's shoulders. Like it's just hilarious to me. And I mean, again, going back to the Penguins, they really steal the show. I'm thinking of when they're getting caught also because the monkeys are on their shoulders, but then they're like cute and cuddly boys, cute and cuddly, and they're just waving, like try not to get caught. Like that I thought was hilarious. There's a part where they're in the shipping container and he's like, status report, and the one looks at a barcode and he's like, it's an old code, sir, I can't decipher it. I was just cracking up. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can't. This is a lot of comedy throughout. I love the little pop culture references. I'm sure you caught them. Of you had the Castaway, where Alex is building his own hut, where they kind of had that like divide where him and Marty are clashing, and he's like, "Shut up, Spalding," and it's supposed to be Wilson, but it's the Spalding ball, the volleyball. And then he builds that Statue of Liberty like thing, and it gets burned up, and he just says, "Burn it up," and doing Planet of the Apes, like that kind of stuff. But that's where I go back to. There's a lot of adult jokes because the pop culture references and things like that. But yeah, anything else that you, or even a scene in particular?
There was quite a few scenes that really got to me. I loved the whole zoo setup at the beginning. And then when he gets to like Grand Central Station and he's like, it's grand and it's central. I love that. That was really great. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
There's so much throughout. I mean, I go back to the characters. They just have a nice dynamic with them as well. You have Alex that loves that attention. You know, he's used to being the spotlight at the zoo. He does his own poses there at the beginning. And then Marty's the opposite. He's like, I want to get away from this. I want to be free. And that's what drives the plot of them accidentally ending up in Madagascar trying to escape from the zoo. And Melman, again, I go back to him. He's just like this germaphobe. I crack up with him every time. He has a lot of funny moments, like all of them do. Gloria has some great like sass, and she just keeps them in line, which I love. Again, that dynamic, they bounce off of each other so well. The characters overall, and then going back to those minor characters, the penguins and the monkeys and the actual monkeys on Madagascar. I mean, we haven't even talked about them. Real quick, what did you think of the king and all the monkeys there?
I mean, really, there's nothing out of place, and I felt in this movie, all of the voiceovers lended to their part, their plot, pushing it forward, working together. I was trying to think of some other cool scenes. I like how Melman is always like worried about everything, and he's so paranoid and everything, but they're like poking fun out of it too, because like when he goes out, he wears the tissue boxes on his feet, Kleenexes or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, and it's a tribute to Howard Hughes, because Howard Hughes used to do that. And it's just really it's very interesting how they took like from real life things that aren't that funny and made them hilarious. And I really enjoyed that. That was just well done.
Yeah. I love, it's a little minor scene, but Melman thinks he's dying. So he digs a grave, and he's just like, I wrote out my entire will and it's in the beach. I've left you everything. And then the wave comes in and takes out a third of it. And he's just like, "Aw, I'm sorry, Alex."
I love that line. That's awesome.
There's so much like that. It's so great. And I think back, like, again, that they themselves have so many moments. I think the king monkey there, again, Sacha Baron Cohen, King Julien, I think is his actual name, but he's the king monkey. He has a lot of just funny one-liners too. And I remember I watched this, I think, with my family, my parents, and my brother, and they really loved the part where he's like, we have to wait until they fall asleep, and then that's when we'll act. And it's like a moment of silence, and then he says, how long is this going to take? We would quote that. Like we would, whenever we're waiting on something, we'd be like, how long is this going to take? But yeah, obviously he has the Move It song, which maybe you loved it. Maybe it irritated you. I think it was one of those. It followed this movie, but there's so much like that about this movie. I can't go on enough about the comedy, just abundance of characters. It's not just one character kind of giving you the laughs. It's a variety all across the board that I think you're going to enjoy for sure. But anything else? Yeah. Anything to add or anything that we might have missed on?
It's funny. I think, I think the first time I saw it, I thought it was Robin Williams' voice. And then I think over the years, I realized it wasn't, but then it had been so long since I saw it. I was still thinking the first time I saw it, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. And then I even read about how Sacha Baron Cohen was, he was not in it very much. And then once he did some of his lines, they like tripled his lines in the movie.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's funny how I misremembered that. I don't even know what that's about, but maybe a psychological problem. I don't know.
I like I said, I do it all the time. It's just hilarious that, but that I could see that too. Like, yeah, actors come in, maybe they only have a few readings, but they realize, wait, we got something here. This needs more time. I'm glad they did. And it's not like he's just forced in your face. He's just, I don't know how they did it, but they balanced it so well. He's just got like a sentence or two. It's not like he's elaborating and all these speeches and stuff. It's just so short and sweet, but it really packs the funny.
Yeah.
It just adds to it that much more. So, okay. Well, I'm anxious to hear because you're talking about some fun facts and all that stuff. So I'm interested to hear what you got.
You might know this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. So at around 29 minutes in, where they pan back to Alex's crate in the ocean, the sea foam around him creates the head of a lion. The foam forms the face, and in the absence of the foam, that's what makes up the mane. And then Alex's left eye was the face. So go back and watch if you didn't notice it before, but that's a pretty cool one.
I'll have to do that. I'll admit I didn't notice it.
So at around 48 minutes in, originally when Melman makes the fire, he was going to say the line, "I make fire," from the Castaway film, but they took it out. And I think the reason why they took it out is because, like you mentioned, there's another Castaway reference.
Melman says that when he's hitting the wood together, he makes the fire and he goes, "I made fire." So I wonder if that was also in there too. So maybe it was a double. Like
I'll have to check that out. Maybe there's a reason behind that. I don't know. That's funny.
It worked.
I didn't catch that, but that's really cool. Cool if there's two Castaway quotes.
That's maybe cool. It wasn't. I took it as, they're doing two Castaway jokes.
Maybe it was the way he screamed it, like because Tom Hanks screams, "I made fire." So
that could be.
Anyway, I don't know. That's a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe I should have fact checked that one first before I.
That's just my perception. I have no idea because I heard it was probably really close together when those scenes happened too. So maybe I was already thinking Castaway. It was on my mind. Maybe that's all it was.
It don't matter. It was funny.
Yeah, exactly.
So some of the things Chris Rock improvised were Dag Nabbit, Sugar Honey Iced Tea, and Crack-a-Lackin. All improvised.
That's what he's known for too. The Crack-a-Lackin is kind of his catchphrase.
So it's time for a fun fact trivia question. Are you ready?
I am ready. I'm doing so far so good. I hope I can continue.
So it's another true or false, and I hope you don't know this like off the top of your head because it's a very easy question. True or false? Before deciding to make the Penguins Commandos, originally they were barbershop quartet.
Originally. So like in concept.
True or false?
One's telling me one way and the other. I'm going to go with my gut. My gut is saying false.
It's true.
They
originally were a barbershop quartet before they were Commandos.
Really? Huh.
I hate to break your streak. Oh my goodness.
That's all right. I haven't been perfect this season. So I think we'll have to go back and like actually keep track of tabs of how good, but I know I'm doing much better this season than last season, so it's all good. But I was thinking, I'm like, that probably is right, but something was telling me maybe you're trying to throw me a curveball. So I was like, maybe I'll go that way.
Maybe it's the way I said it unintentionally because it's such an easy question.
Maybe.
I was worried you were going to be like, oh, okay.
See, I went the other way. I was like, you were doing reverse psychology on me there, but it's all good. That's interesting. Next time I watch it, I'll have to think of them not in that way. So that is interesting that they originally were that would have been much different.
It would have been very different.
Whoever thought of changing it, I'm just going to say you did good. I don't know if it would have worked.
Yeah,
honestly.
Commandos, I mean, they wouldn't have had the spinoffs and all that jazz, but yeah.
Yeah, it might have. They already had the move it, and then that, I bet it would have annoyed more people, like so much of that, like singing going on. But who knows? Maybe it's hard to say, but it worked out. Like you said, they got spinoffs and all that jazz. All right. Well, before we get to our reviews, we like to look around the net, just see what people's thoughts are out there. So, Seth, what kind of reviews are you seeing out there?
The first one I found was Pokemon_trainer_Lucas said, funny and enjoyable, 7 out of 10.
That's right. I agree with that. It's funny and enjoyable. Great way to describe it.
Crazy Chap says, it's amusing, but not satisfying, 6 out of 10.
Okay. That's actually a really fitting rating, 7 out of 10. Like, yeah, it's good, but that's just how they feel in that way. But good job on rating it. I'll give you a, tip of the hat for you on getting the proper rating. We haven't had bad ratings in a while, I actually want to say. So good job, everybody. We've been seeing some good ratings.
And then the last one, Bear For You, said, this movie is great, fun to watch, tons of laughs, 10 out of 10.
Wow, 10 out of 10. Lots of laughs. I agree with on that for sure. Well, there you go. There's the reviews we're seeing, but let's get down to it. Let's get our official final rating. So, Seth, I'm going to ask you the question. For Madagascar, how are you going to rate it? Are you going to take it home? Are you going to watch it at grandma's? Or are you going to hide it in the attic?
Personally, I like the simple animation. I love the humor with great voiceovers. Take this one home.
Very nice. I'll just come out the gate and say, I was a little on the fence with this one, and it might sound bad, like it's a big step down. But I'm actually going to just come out and say, this is a watch it at grandma's for me on like right there. I feel really good about coming back to this every once in a while. What else is that? We kind of gave it a lot of praise. I'm trying to think of the negative. There's really not negatives with this, but I don't know. It's just for me personally, how it hits. It's that perfect, like almost, I haven't seen this in a while. Let's get it out and watch it and just have a good time. I didn't actually touch on my kids. I'm going to kick myself over and over and over again because I do such a terrible job of that. They didn't like it as much, and that's not why I would rate it that way. But mention with the rating, Granny's family friendly rating, 2 of my kids were actually a little afraid when Alex turns savage, when he gets more of a lion. And that's something you don't think about as an adult. Like for us, I think you and I both, we were just like, oh, this is great. There's nothing really there. But when I was watching it with them, it's like, oh, actually for children, it might be a little intense. Each child's going to be different. I'm not going to say every child is, but that's just something to consider, I guess, when you're watching this movie. For the most part, I mean, I can't think of anything negative other than that. And that's not really much of a negative because that's more geared towards if you have little ones. I'm talking 5, 6 years old, probably around in that age group. Maybe if they're older, it doesn't bother them. But yeah, they laughed. They were laughing a lot at the monkeys, the poo jokes. They're in that age group, the potty humor. They kind of acted like they didn't like it. Like, I don't like this, but I think they kind of enjoy it. Kind of that, like, I don't want to watch this all the time. Maybe come back to it. But I mean, otherwise, you're going to have a great time. Yeah, I can't say enough about the cast. It's just fantastic. The voice over, all that jazz. I mean, it's great. I can't say enough about it. But it just feels right to come back to every once in a while. And that could even be once a month, that type of thing. I just feel very comfortable. I don't know what my grandma would think with the potty humor and stuff, but I think she would have a good time as well. So,
would you think that maybe as part of it was that there was an older, simplistic animation style, or do you think that had nothing to do with it?
With my kids not liking it or just overall?
Yeah.
It might. Yeah, because this should be right up their alley. Like, these are animals, and you have, obviously, lions seem to appeal to kids. I don't know. That's one of the more popular animals. And Alex is great. I mean, they seem to like the characters. I think they're just trying to be opposite of me. Like, I thought, let's get out and let's have a good time. And
okay.
yeah, I hate to say that. They're at that age where they kind of like, oh, you like this, maybe I'll like this. I could be wrong, but that's what it felt like more than anything. Because once we started watching, they had a great time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would recommend this. Outside of those, like I said, that's a younger audience. Outside of the one intense couple scenes where he's just kind of savage, this is like perfect for family. Get it out. Let grandma watch it. Let the relatives who are over visiting get this out. You're going to have good laughs. If you need a good laugh, that's the best way, I would say, is get this movie out and just enjoy the show. So, well, there you go, folks. Another movie in the books. But before we wrap up, Seth, why don't you tell the good people where they can find and connect with us?
You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. You can email us at moviesatgrandmashouse@gmail.com. And we have a newsletter, so check us out. And we're on Patreon. And use code Grandma's House at checkout at movieposters.com for up to 15% off.
Yeah, all good stuff. And be sure you're on a newsletter because we have a contest once a month. You could win a free movie poster. Again, as Seth mentioned, from movieposters.com. So if you're not already, make sure you sign up now. Don't delay. Link will be down below. You sign up and get entered in for your chance to win your very own poster. Well, that's going to do it for our time at Grandma's house. But don't worry, we will be back soon. So in the meantime, remember to be kind and rewind. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.